All right, second part of section 11.4, graphing quadratic functions that are parabolas. All right, I wanted to give you specific step by step. This is how you answer the questions that are asked on your homework and exactly how you find them, because this is your general formula of a parabola, and I'm going to give those to you in that formula. All right, you can manipulate the formula by completing the square, and if we have time at the end of the year, we'll come back and do some of that. But for right now, I want you to be able to recognize this format of the function and be able to pick the pieces out of this format. All right, so your function is a times the quantity x minus h squared plus k, and if you'll remember, we said that the a tells you whether it opens up or down. The A tells you whether it opens up or down, and it tells you how wide it is. Remember that? So if the A is positive, your parabola opens up. If the A is negative, your parabola opens down. And if the A, remember, is a large number, a number bigger than 1, then it's going to stretch it and it's going to be narrow and tall. But if your A is a fraction, then it's actually squishing it flat and it's going to be wide. All right? Now the vertex comes from the H and the K. And if you'll remember, the vertex is the turning point of your parabola. So if it's one that's positive, so it's opening up, then it's the very lowest point of your parabola. If it's at the top, if it's a parabola that opens downward, then the vertex is the very top point of your parabola. It's almost like you're picking up a piece of string and it's the place where you're holding, and it's going to go downward if it's down. So the vertex is HK. What we didn't talk about in the previous section is the axis of symmetry, and that's something that they're going to ask you in your homework, and I'll ask you on a quiz and on a test, so you'll need to know. The axis of symmetry is a place where you fold whatever shape it is, and in this case our parabola, where you can fold it and the two halves match exactly. So what happens with this type, with a function, these are all going to be opening either up or down. So therefore, your axis of symmetry is going to be a vertical line. So in these problems that are equal to y or f of x, and you have an x squared, these are all going to be y equals something. All right, it's going to be that vertical line that goes through the vertex. So it's going to be not y equals. Whoa. Y equals is a horizontal line. It's going to be x equals. There you go. Now hopefully you were paying attention. So x equals, so no, it doesn't matter what y is, x has to stay right there. X is going to be at the same place, so that's a vertical line. So x is whatever your vertex is. So your axis of symmetry is going to be x equals h. Okay? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to, hopefully you have those in your notes because I'm going to cover them up with my questions. So now here is the problem we have, and we've got it in the format of y equals ax minus h quantity squared plus k. And so what we're going to do is first we're just going to go A, B, C, D, and I'm going to do it exactly as if it were in your homework. So step one, I want to know, does this parabola open up or down? Well, the problem is we've got to find the A. And you remember the A is what's in front of the x squared amount. And so in this case, it's right here. And if you don't see it, it has to be a 1. Don't say it's a 0, because if it's a 0, then that zeroes out all of this. All right? So if you don't see it, it's a 1. So my A is 1, and you can even put it in there if you want to. So if it's a 1, that means it's positive. So if it's a positive 1, it's going to open up. All right? So A is, does it open up or down? It's going to open upward. And B is, what is my vertex? Well, the vertex, remember, is the HK. And here's the H, and here's the K. Now be careful. The H in your formula, the H is the opposite of whatever it looks like in your formula or in your original equation. The K is exactly what it says because it's positive. okay? So the h is this -1. So the h, remember it's minus h, so it's going to be a positive 1. And the k is right here, so hk, and the k is -4, so it's exactly what we see, -4. All right, so we just pull it from the equation, 1, -4. So the only tricky part of that is going to be the h is going to be the opposite of what it looks like. The k is going to be exactly what it says. All right, and now the axis of symmetry is what we're asking for on part C. The axis of symmetry is going to be, remember, x equals, it's going to be that line that goes right through the parabola at the point of the vertex. So it's going to be x equals 1. And so for part D, we graph it. So what we do to graph these is we're going to start with a vertex, 1, -4. So 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and put a point. That's your vertex. And now we look to see, well, we're going to open upward, and my A is 1. So that means it's going to be, if you remember that general shape, you don't even have to plot any points. It's going to be kind of regular, not squatty and not skinny. So there you go, done. All right, let's do another one. So on this one, step 1, does it open up or down? Well, the A in this case is -2, so it's negative, so it's going to open downward. Step 2 is to find the vertex. Remember, the vertex is HK. So here's my H, it's right next to the X, but there is no K. So in this case, if there is no K, this is like it's adding 0 to that. Okay, in this case it is 0 because we're not multiplying it by something, all right? So there is nothing there, so this is 0. If we had the x squared by itself, then the h would be 0, all right? But we have a 1 here, so the h is 1, and actually, look, if this says +1, the h is -1, and the k is 0. All right, did you see where I got that straight out of the equation? And now the axis of symmetry, remember, is going to be the vertical line that cuts right through that parabola. So x equals -1. So now to graph it, you're going to plot the point -1, 0. So there's my vertex. I'm going to open downward, and because it's a 2, remember, it's going to lengthen it. It's going to be kind of skinny. So we're going to go kind of like this. And now you can see your axis of symmetry goes right through, right here. That's where we fold it, and that's at x equals -1. I can show you this one. X equals 1 was right here, and so there's this axis of symmetry right here on your parabola here. All right, so now you know all the exact points, all the exact parts. This was a quick and short video, and I will see you next time.